was very clear that I am not here to do routine audits, routine accounting, and routine jobs. That's where he came up with the idea that how about outsourcing? One thing is UK clients specifically, they're very conservative. It's not that you started working and in 2 months they'll say that, oh, you are very good and they'll start recommending you clients. No.
Yep.
So in 2021, we were measuring that 2022, our growth rate was 97% from the previous year.
Wow.
So this year we are targeting that we will grow at the rate of at least 65 to 70%. And 3 lakh CPAs is the shortage in US market as of today. And they're looking at from outside firm will come to India and they'll establish their offshoring unit. And because they have deep pockets, all your experienced people will be hired by them at 2x, 3x prices. So I have seen people I was just looking at my number yesterday with someone I was sitting for appraisal, and I was just seeing in 3 years that person has grown 5x times. But that is creating a huge challenge for outsourcing. I'm training 200 people every year. Next year I'm going to train 500 people. So I'll give only one suggestion. Those who are starting new, put your 100% into it at least for 2 to 3 years. Don't sail in two different boats. Otherwise.
So, hi everyone, welcome to the Finance Story. So, I'm Chantel, founder of the Finance Story. We all know that outsourcing is quite a buzzword, and to help us get a closer look at what it takes to scale an accounting and tax focused outsourcing firm, serving not just the US or the UK, but serving the US and UK markets, even the Australian market, we have with us Uday Ranpara. So, Uday, thank you so much for joining in. Can you take us through your journey of how you entered this space? Like a little bit of a backstory.
Sure, Shantan. So I'll start my journey from 2003, as you mentioned, rightly mentioned that. In fact, I cleared my chartered accountancy exam, the final exam, the last group in 2004. Before that, in 2003, when I was like one group clear person, and I heard that there is a walk-in drive going on with Johnson and Johnson for chartered accountants, and I entered in that walk-in. I asked the receptionist that I want to give interview. She's like, it's not walk-in. And I said, I have come all the way from Ahmedabad, so I'm not going without giving interview. And eventually, at 8 o'clock in the night, I was the last one to be called in for the interview. And then they started shooting the questions. And after half an hour, they said that, oh, we must congratulate you that we are taking interviews since morning for all the chartered accountants, but yours was the best interview. And that's how my journey started with Johnson and Johnson. By 2004, I was chartered accountant. By 2005, I decided that this is not what I am meant for. I want to go back and I want to teach. So I had this flair for teaching. So I came back to Ahmedabad in 2005 after leaving the job where I had one hour of interactions with all the three managers. I took up a full-time faculty job. I was not even getting the salary which I was getting at Johnson, not even half of what I was getting at Johnson and Johnson.
Oh my
Uh,
God.
and met Vijesh in 2005, entered into CA practice because he was doing it since 1998. So like he is a senior chartered accountant and I was like, I'm a junior one. I did my first assignment with him of IOC, for which again I had to go to Mumbai and finish the assignment. But after that, he was very much sure that, okay, you are the guy. So after that, in 2006, when we were sitting and we were introspecting that what next, what to do, uh, I said, I'm not interested in doing the routine things. Even in my articleship for 3 years, I never did vouching or I never did what others are supposed to do.
Yeah. Yep.
So even with Vijesh, I was very clear that I am not here to do routine audits, routine accounting and routine jobs. So what to do? And that's where he came up with the idea that how about outsourcing? I said, yeah, that sounds good. That's something new. That's something emerging. There are very few companies who are doing it. So that's how the thought came in, and that's how it started. All credit goes to Vijesh. He went to UK and we got our first client, and from there it started and journey continued.
So, would you want to highlight, a little bit about your journey? Because we see there are a lot of outsourcing into accounting and bookkeeping happening right now, right? And they are usually focused in one market, either UK or US. Okay, you guys are focused in two markets, scaled operationally really very well. What is your story in between
So let
one
me give
client to 400? Yeah.
So what happened in 2006 when we started with Initor Global? So in 2006, from our CA practice itself, we thought that, okay, still nothing is there, nothing is concrete. So let us not get into the expenses of forming a company and indulging all the other expenses. Let us try to find out some clients first.
Yep.
And the first client we started serving in 2006, 2006-7, we were just having one client, and we were just serving that one client with two of us. I mean, two people who were working, and I was the one who was reviewing the work, and that's how it was going. By 2008, we started building up more clients, more interaction, more tractions, few referrals from our existing client, because in 2 years they also got more confident in us that okay,
Yep.
yeah, they are what they are doing is good and what they are doing is nice. One thing is UK clients specifically, they are very conservative. It's not that you started working and in 2 months they'll say that oh, you are very good, and they'll start recommending you clients. No, they take their own time. So our client took 2 years before he gave the first referral to us that okay, meet my friend, another CA farm, and they wanted to explore, and that's how it started, and the journey was going good. But
Yep.
because UK operation was very small, as I said, that few clients between 2006 to 2010, my inclination was more towards the academics. Different banks called me for their forensic trainings. I became a visiting faculty with Ahmedabad, and then I am Nagpur, and then I am Lucknow. So my world was more into I'll say glamour, talking and meeting people, and less concentrating on the business. And Vijesh was more focused on business between up till rather 2015. So in 2015, me and Vijesh again were sitting and we were discussing about outsourcing, and our UK division actually grew well, all thanks to him. That's where he said that Uday, now if you have lived your stardom, can we come to business properly? And that's where I said that okay, let's do it. But as I said, again, something new. You are already established in UK market properly, nicely. People know you, so you keep visiting UK market, and I'll start from US. So
Yep.
in UK, we have already created Initor Global to be very successful brand. Yeah. So let's do one thing. Let's continue things in Initor Global, but sooner we should we should form a different brand for a different market. So if
Yep.
something goes wrong in one of the markets, we have two separate brands, so we'll not get that effect on each other. In 2012, me and Vijesh went first to US just to see the market, how it is, and just to do Reiki. It's just visiting it and seeing and meeting people. So 16, when I went there, I went with a good plan. Attended conference. I was one of the speaker in one of the CPA conference. I had 45 minutes slot to speak, and that went well. And that's where US market started growing much faster than UK market. So between 2016 to 2020, we already had a team of more than 110 people working with us only for US market, and we continued the success story, and now you know that we have more than 350 people working in US, 150 team in UK, a small team of Australia as of now, Australia and Canada, and combined with Zinzuwadia, we are a team of 500 plus.
That's amazing. When you're talking about Vijesh building the UK market, right? You said from 2006 to 2010, 11, or 12, he and his team were building it. What was the growth that you saw in that segment in the UK market?
So UK market, the growth, as I said, UK market is very conservative market. They'll not simply trust. As we know that when the first time Vijesh went for his first client meet, the first question what they asked was, "Show me your passport. Are you traveling on the proper visas or not, or you are just?" So the impression what India had at that point of time, or rather the Asia had at that point of time, was was like not so easy to trust. India was not properly marketed at that point of time.
Yep.
But slowly and gradually, as medias have started showing good picture and right picture about India,
Yep.
so 2020 onwards, India is like everybody's talking about India. So So that's one good thing, that now that trust level has become necessity. In 2021, if you start something, or 2024, now you start something, it's not about gaining that trust. It is just to
Yep.
give the confidence that you will be able to
Deliver.
do it properly, deliver properly.
Yeah. Yeah. That's amazing. You know, so
So
you mentioned, yeah, sorry, you were saying something.
we had challenge of first selling that, okay, from where we are coming, we can provide good services, and we are capable to provide good services. So there were two things we had to market.
Cool. So, Uday, when you're talking about the US market, right? You said you visited the US in 2012, studied the market, and then 2015, 16ish is where you 100% went all out and grew the business, which is 350 plus today.
So in 2015, when we decided that we will start now, after 2012's visit, 13, 14, we were very much occupied with UK, because that was also growing
Yep.
very fast. So in 15, we hired um, 1, 2, and 3. There were three people working. Apart from me and Vijay, there were three persons who were hired in US department. 2016 June, May, June, I was in US. So after that conference, from July, we started getting more traction. Our team started growing very fast. So by the end of 2016, we were like team of almost 30, 40 people,
Wow.
from 3 to 40. That happened very fast.
Yeah.
And then the success story we repeated in 2017 and 18 and 19, before COVID, because till COVID every year I used to travel once or twice, and I used to meet people, and I used to participate in conferences, and I used to be speaker, and did whatever good was working for us. And we kept adding numbers. Then came COVID, when everything stopped, the travel stopped. So there was no scope of going there and marketing and meeting people. Everything was like online, and conferences were happening, online conferences, but that was not that good as it was, like, meeting in person. So those 2, 3 years were like not very good from that perspective, but were very good for us, because we were still adding the business through referrals, lots and lots of referrals from our existing clients. And that's where we understood the importance of social media, and started a lot of social media activities, and started getting traction from there.
You are mostly focused on bookkeeping and taxes, right?
So
So, have
we
you?
are we are tax heavy company. Our
Okay.
60% of the revenue is tax.
Okay.
Our 30% is coming from accounting and CFO services. 15, 20% hardly from bookkeeping.
That's when I did a research and I'm like, my God, you guys are really big, you know? So that is amazing. So, so do you think referrals is the biggest way of scaling instead of marketing, marketing, marketing?
100%. So once, but there are two type of people in this, and those who are listening to us and want to know. Those who are
Yeah.
already existing in the business, for them referrals are definitely good. But there might be people who are having the question that referrals will come when we'll get our first few clients. So yeah, for us referrals worked very well. Um, Almost, I'll say that now, because we are growing very big, 85% of our clients are repeat clients. And out of that, last what we analyzed was 57% of our clients have referred us during the last year, one more client. So
Wow.
that's the rate at which we are getting the referrals, and that's the rate at which we are growing. Because when somebody is referring you, so those 57% referral, I know that out of that, definitely at least 50% business will be closed.
Yep.
Right? So in 2021, we were measuring that 2022, our growth rate was 97% from the previous year.
Wow.
So this year we are targeting that we will grow at the rate of at least 65 to 70%.
Wow, that's massive. When you're talking about client acquisition, like how you mentioned many a times that speaking at conferences, attending conferences was a key factor. So you mean to say no cold messaging, no cold texting, just being in front of the client is what
Exactly.
works.
So nowadays, what's happening is like one of my BD is using very good terminology for that, and I forgot that. What she used to say is like, uh, don't just keep spraying everything and waiting that something will hit. Right? That's not the target marketing what we want to do now, because we are not in that level. So what we need to do now is we have to meet the right people. We have to go to the right conferences, and we have to be the part of right associations, and that's where we will get the clients what we want. So earlier in 2016, as I said that I used to visit US 2 or 3 times in a year. Is like whatever conference I'll find, I used to go and just be part of it. So doing everything possible. Now I know that okay, I want to do this and I don't want to do that.
Give us some names of conferences which we can
So there
attend.
are conferences like Engage is one of the biggest conference which normally happens in Las Vegas every year. That's good. In UK, Accountex is one of the very good events, rather one of the best events which happens. Then in US, every state has their own chapter. Like we have ICAI in India, and
Yeah.
ICAI has different wings. Like Western wing is different, Eastern wing is different. There also every state, all the 52 states, they are having their own separate conferences and separate seminars happening. So you can attend one of them, or like Thomson Reuters is conducting lots and lots of conferences. I attended few of them as an attendee, and it's like just you sitting as an attendee with others, and you start interacting with your neighbor, and in the break you just share a cup of tea with them. Lunch you share some with someone. It's all about networking. I'll say that it's all about how you market and how you sell yourself.
So when you attend these events, you definitely have a purpose, right? So how do you go and say, "Hey, hi, I'm Uday, and this is what I do"? And because there'll be so many who will be doing the same thing. So
It's all about hi, I'm Uday, and I am all the way from India. I have come here to attend this. May I know about you? And these guys are very very nice. You wish them whenever you are passing by anyone, you wish them good morning, good evening, good night, hi, hello, how's the day going? Just randomly do that and pass by them. So next time when they see you, they start feeling that oh, this guy is familiar, and then the interaction becomes very easy and very convenient for both the parties.
okay, and how
And
long does it? Sorry.
and it's very easy to communicate with. I think with any human being, it's very easy to communicate.
My question is around pitching to the client. You know, when we go and meet people at events, or we share videos or write on LinkedIn, what would it be focusing initially on? Our technical capabilities, our offerings, and how will it benefit? Like, how do you bundle it?
The first and foremost thing what you need to sell is yourself, your capabilities. Number two, your security measures, what you take, because that is something which is very important to them. So once you have shown your capabilities, show your security measures, what you have adopted, and then if these two things will set in place, definitely there is nothing more they can ask for. Then it is all about winning their trust. Most important when you are interacting with people, try to understand. First, be a good listener. Try to understand their pain points. Don't go by the normal outsourcing videos what we see that people are doing it for cost benefits. No. Gone are the days. It's not always the cost benefit. It is the pain they are not getting the right person to work, right? So they might be paying you the same amount what they would have paid in their country, but for that they need the right person. So the moment you will understand their pain, you will be able to cure that better. Just offer your solution, that what you provide. We are providing this, and whenever you need, whenever you feel like, just this is my card, contact me. May I have your card? I'll keep posting our promotional newsletters with you if you don't mind. And they'll say, oh yeah, that's fine. And just be visible to them. Then what will happen? The day they'll need it, whoever is in front of them, they'll connect them first. So I have clients who converted into clients after a year or 2 years after attending the conference in which we met.
And Uday, as you scale, how do you maintain these relationships? Because I was talking to a lot of folks on the other side. They said, soon as you scale, outsourcing firms they are not the same. It's very different. And then they want to start their own. So, how do you maintain the quality and the relationship?
I fully agree with your point, and this is the biggest pain which most of the people in this space are facing. A story of taking a company from 0 to 50 is different. 50 to 100 is different. And once you are crossing 100 plus employees, it is completely a different ballgame. So if you sustain that 100 to 200 scenario nicely, keeping good number of clients with you and without complaint, then you will sail through. Then the story is different after 500. So, so first 50 employees till that point of time, you work as a family. You don't work as an organization. As you grow, as you go beyond 100, it's very difficult to keep that rapport with everyone. So that's where you need to understand that unless and until you will have a proper organogram. So at the top, I need to take care of 5 people. Those 5 people will further take care of 10 each, 50 more. You know. So if you keep building this organogram, then only it's like making steps. So you
Okay.
have to keep making the steps properly, and if everything is in the right place, then the whole structure will stand. Otherwise, it will collapse. Getting the right people. So that is the most difficult thing. You know that you want to create a good hierarchy. You know that you want a manager, and below the manager you want 10 people. But this right manager who has leadership qualities, who has technical skills, and who's loyal, getting these three qualities together, it's task.
So, would you want to highlight what were your challenges? All
Called Blue Ocean. I don't know how many of us have read it. The theory is very good. That initially, like when you start something new, you are entering into a completely blue ocean, and you will find yourself alone there. And then you'll build everything, and then people will start seeing you. Oh, that's so amazing. So people will start coming there, and lots of people will start coming that, and then that ocean will become a red ocean. So it's a blue ocean and red ocean theory. So exactly that is the biggest challenge which everybody faces, and that is in the initial phase where you are struggling, you are alone in that space, and you can say easily. But then a lot of people will enter into, as you know, that lots and lots of people are doing outsourcing, and there is a huge marketing which everybody is doing.
yep,
So outsourcing has become not a luxury anymore; it has become a necessity.
yep,
So that has changed the perspective of the clientele. At the same time, that's not good also, because when there's a huge competition, what happens is, like, if one of the CPA firms decide that, okay, let me work with XYZ company, who's providing me at a cheaper rate resource, and if they are not able to deliver good, their impression about that
yep,
firm will not go bad only. Their impression
yep,
about the outsourcing itself
yep,
will. So they will say that no, complete no to outsourcing.
yep.
So that is the risk what we are facing in this market. That
When we were talking, you said, Chantal, even if we hire 5,000 people, the opportunity is still huge. So, can you give some numbers and whatever is your understanding?
as I said, last when I read it was 2 lakh, but now it is there is a shortage of 300,000. That is 3 lakh CPAs is the shortage in US market as of today, and they're looking it from outside. So 3 lakh jobs are there. So 50,000 is still small number. If I'll have a team of 3 lakh people working for me, I can fill it. UK market is also growing very fast. UK market is the whole of Europe. If you want to cover, you have to break the barriers of languages, because you need to know Spanish and French and German and all. But it's a big market also. After US, UK is, can say, after growth of US and UK, Austria is the next good market. And I just before this session only, I was on call with Vijesh. Vijesh is on his Australia trip for
Okay.
for bringing new clients. So he said that it's a huge market, and the
Yep,
potential here is again tremendous.
yep. You know,
Canada, I'll just put Canada on the back seat, because we know that Canada, price wise, and it's a lot of migration happening to Canada from Asian countries, and they're getting very cheap and good labors there itself.
yep,
So so my concentration is on the first three: US, UK, and Australia. So B2B, like I'm connected with the CP, and CP is giving me the work. Then I'm into B2B, and I'm working as not as a professional but as a businessman. But if I open up my own CPA firm and offer the services to B2C directly to the clients, then it's more like I'm a professional, and you need to decide your market first. In the first 3 years of our our US journey, we were very much clear that we are not going to touch B2C. We were only and only doing B2B. After reaching a good level after 3 years, we decided that now we can also see B2C.
There when I talk to a lot of people who are at, say, at a team of 100, right? And they or 150, and now they want to go to 250, but then 50 people will leave. So they're in this entire cycle of hiring and not moving ahead. So how should they move ahead? What would you tell them?
That's that's amazing question, and I think that is the biggest pain point every outsourcing company is facing as of today, including us. Every day a new every day a new CPA firm will come to India, and they'll establish their offshoring unit. And because they have deep pockets, they all your experienced people will be hired by them at 2x 3x prices. So it's good that in the employee market they have very good jumps. I have seen people in. I was just looking at my number yesterday with someone. I was sitting for appraisal, and I was just seeing in 3 years that person has grown 5x times. So
Wow.
that's good. People are growing very fast these days, but that is creating a huge challenge for outsourcing. Why outsourcing? Only because we are sitting in the second layer. The direct CPA first top big fours, then comes fifth to 100. So top 100 will come, and then there are direct firms like Citrin and Armanino and Wifley and others, and then comes outsourcers because we are doing B2B. So there is a
Yeah.
CPA firm, they take the revenue, and then they out of that they give something to us. So definitely our margins are not that big as much these guys are earning directly. Good policies, they have good payouts. So that's the biggest thing. So we see this in 2021 that this is going to happen
Yeah.
in future, and that's where we decided that because I am from the training background, we decided that no, we need to have our own training academy. So we opened up Acquaint. Acquaint is academy which is now
Okay.
running separately from the company on its own, but we have designed good courses, 3 to 4 months courses, wherein people can get through those courses and they'll get good practical and theoretical knowledge about how to do the things, and then add it up with our 3 months training. Top of that, then person becomes job ready very fast. So you have to create your own talent because now you're not going to get it from the market. Rather, your talent will be stolen by others.
Yep. So does that worry you now? Okay, I train somebody and the person moves out.
I'm training 200 people every year. Next year, I'm going to train 500 people. So if after training 200 people, I'm not going to absorb all 200. Say I'll absorb 100 out of them. 100 will be available for the market to absorb. There are so many outsourcing companies, they are facing the same problem. So in Ahmedabad, so many companies have approached us that, okay, we also want to get the benefit of this institute. I said, that's operating separately. You directly contact them and take interviews and take your people.
There, given there are many players out there doing this business, is there a scope for new entrants?
There is always scope for the new entrants anywhere and everywhere. You know that there are so many chartered accountants every year coming out, and they find their way. So business is also like that. Every day somebody else will come, and everybody will find their own market. But it's a struggle for the new entrants because lot many people are trying. So getting your first opportunity is 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 something which is like you have to really die for it and perform good, and then you will create a business out of it. You have to identify, even if you are not a right salesperson and you go and try to sell, you try it for 5 years and you will not crack one client.
True
So my
that.
point is there is no specific theory about it, but if you are reasonably good salesperson, 3 years, and trust me, you can come at a good level where you can see that your business is now taking up.
How can pricing be structured to remain competitive while maintaining profitability? And what can be the true financial projections for the first few years of operation? If you can add some numbers to it.
But how can pricing be structured? I'll say that for the starters, what you need to do is you have to find out your cost. Don't put your time cost as a cost. Just put the actual cost what you're incurring, like your rent, your electricity, like your computer cost, uh, the operating cost. If you're hiring employees, employee cost. Consider that. Consider that to be your base. You want to recover that much because that's where you will reach at your break even. Only mark it up by 10 to 25%, nothing more than that, to start with. Once you will start getting that, once your contribution is coming at 25% or 20%, you will start gaining confidence. And after that, you can build the new pricing models moving forward, because that's where you will get that confidence. Okay, I'm able to sell it uh, cost plus 25. Now I'm able to sell it cost plus 50, and then now I'm able to sell it cost plus 100. But to start
Yep.
with, cost plus 10 or 25% max.
What benchmark should he at least set for himself? If
Chantal,
not the highest, at least mid range.
it's very much subjective that what range or what financial projections you can set. But say after 3 years, once you reach uh, proper clientele, once you have, then looking at the numbers at that point of time, you can do the right projections. For the first 3 years, all the projections will go wrong. So, so there is no specific theory that this is the right number, that is the right number. But in first 3 years, you just have to reach, rather, I'll say in 1 or 2 years, you have to reach your break even. But if you're reaching at break even in first 3 years, then you're good to go. Then your business is set.
You were starting out today, would you do the same thing again? And do you think you would achieve this scale that you've achieved, in the last decade or so, or it would be slower? Or
Definitely not, because every era, every 3 years, you have to change the game. If you keep playing the same game, you are out of the market. So as of now, lots and lots of things have changed as far as marketing is concerned. Now there are, earlier the way I used to go there, and earlier I used to take uh, uh, deliver sessions to CPAs, and I used to win clients. That will not work now. We have understood that what we need is we need to spend more. We need to have right business development candidates. Up to one level, I was able to sell, but now I need to understand that game is changing. If you want to play a bigger game, you want somebody who can handle bigger sales. You need right people. You need somebody who can speak their language. You need somebody who can speak their accent.
yep.
So that's where you
Okay.
have to add team members and business development people and partners in that way, that they can take you to the next level.
Okay, but this is going to be an expensive approach, right? Like you guys have scaled, so it's affordable, but for
Obviously,
others, it's not possible. Like if I want to start a business development and hire a UK guy or a Brit guy, that's going to be really expensive.
that's definitely expensive.
Okay, so then I have to use the same strategy what you
So
mentioned,
you have to start with the same strategy, but then give partnerships. You know, you
partnerships.
start with somebody. Say, for example, there is a CPA firm in US or CA firm in UK. You tell them that we want to be your offshoring unit, but let us do this business together. You market us there. You bring more clients, and we will share the profit. So when you can't do, you have to share the profit. Simple.
Okay,
So
okay.
bring in some dynamic steps, and the faster will win the race.
And from what I understand, this entire business is not fast money. It's a
Not at all.
long-term game. Okay,
There are two mistakes which people do. Is one, they think that this is the fastest money, and everything is multiplied by 100 or 105 or 83. No, that's not that easy, because you're spending also at the same pace. Number two, people think that it's very easy to do. It's like you enter into, and say, like, you can do three things together, four things together, and side by side you can develop your outsourcing division. No, always understand that there are people who are fully 24 hours concentrating to grow this, and if you are giving only 2 3 hours in a day, so you're competing with somebody who's putting in 24 hours 100% into it, and you're putting in 10%, then your winning chances are very less. So if you enter into it, enter 100%. It's, you have to come all in, or don't. I have seen so many friends of mine and so many colleagues and so many students who became chartered accountant. They had their own practices, and with the practice, they said that okay, we want to develop outsourcing. They have spent huge amounts in 2 or 3 years. After getting tired of it, they have stopped after making huge losses in that division. Definitely, they were able to earn good from the
yeah,
local market, and they were able to fulfill that. But you have to come all in.
okay.
Side by side, if
That's
you're doing something, you can have one or two clients whom you will serve, and you cannot make business out of it.
Uday, I mean, this has been an interesting conversation and there's a lot of learnings. Would you want to give a closing message to those who are already in this and, who want to get into this?
So I'll give only one suggestion. Those who are starting new, don't fear, get into it. But the only thing which I'll say, put your 100% into it at least for 2 to 3 years. Don't sail in two different boats. Otherwise, you will get split, and at some point of time, you will fall down. Number two, those who are already doing it and they are scaling up, you need to understand your strengths. But the most important for scaling up is you need to understand your weaknesses. Right? If I'm not good with operations, if I'm not good with people management, and I'll keep doing it because it's my company, then your company will fail. You need to understand your weaknesses, and at the right point of time, you need to understand that okay, beyond this point, it is not my capability, so I'll have to hire somebody who can do it for me. So don't shy out from hiring people. Don't think that hiring a controller can take away your business. No, nobody can take away your share, and you have to trust. That's the growth mantra.
Okay, cool.
Keep outsourcing your own work and be
Thank
free
you.
as much as you can.
Thank you. Thank you, Uday. I mean, this is amazing.